What is going on, everybody? ZyoniK here, and if you're watching this video, well, I'm in Berlin, which means I'm not going to be able to do any Kanto Cup battles, but thankfully the Kanto Cup is a very stable meta, and today's team that we're going to be looking at is going to be a triple normal team, Pidgeot, Kangaskhan, which is very spicy and fun, and Shadow Snorlax. First battle here, let's see how this goes. We have Pidgeot here on the lead versus a Mew. Ooh, dangerous. Mew has that wild charge, which we definitely want to not get hit with. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to stay in this fight right here. We can really put a lot of pressure with Brave Bird, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the charge move, but they get their charge move off first. I'm going to shield right here. I don't want to get hit with wild charge, but it's just going to be a surf shield bait, which is unfortunate. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go for the aerial ace right here. This does neutral damage to a Mew, and they actually decide not to shield. So I'm going to swap straight into Snorlax right away, and they didn't swap out. Lick just took it out. Mew was just deleted. Now we do see Shadow Machamp come in. Now this is what's great as well with a Snorlax safe swap. You're going to draw out that Shadow Machamp. You're going to draw out that fighter, maybe that Primeape. And what's great is we can keep that away from Kangaskhan because Snorlax right here can get off Body Slam very quickly. We'll let this go and potentially get 2 Body Slams to put a lot of pressure on the opponent. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Pidgeot right here and look to hard farm. Pidgeot on the lead does amazing when it either obviously wins lead, that's amazing, or second, in a situation like this where we can shield, come in and farm for loaded energy because Brave Bird in this meta is so devastating. So we do see the final Pokemon is actually a Nidoking, a Shadow Nidoking at that. So a super spicy team right here. Mad respect to my opponent. They decide not to shield, but we're going to go ahead and bring in the Kangaskhan and just fast move down. And that is going to be a good battle. What's great about Kangaskhan here is that Mud Slap gives us great coverage to stuff like a Alolan Marowak, a Alolan Graveler, a Alolan Golem, Electrode, right? It's very strong. So we have Snorlax now on the lead. I like to stay in this matchup right here. Body Slam and Superpower don't do too much damage, and what we're looking to do is really hope that they decide to shield a potential Brave Bird, but we're just going to go for aerial aces right here. I can come out of this matchup if I shield once or decide to shield once with quite a bit of health and energy, but we'll have to see how I play this out. I think in this one I decided to not shield, just seeing how much damage Body Slam does. So we're going to go ahead and go for the aerial ace right here. It doesn't get a shield, but we'll go ahead and commit to the farm down. They will be able to get to another charge move, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. If it's Superpower, so be it, but I think it's just going to be another Body Slam, which it is. So we can farm down right here. And this is why I mean Pidgeot with loaded energy is very dangerous because now we can throw a free Brave Bird right here and put a lot of pressure on their shields. So they do bring in, I believe that was a Kanto Ninetales. So we'll have to see. We're going to go ahead and swap into the Snorlax after this. We don't want to get farmed down. It is going to be a Shadow Kanto Ninetales. We bring in the Snorlax right here. And then they're just going to be throwing a charge move. So we're going to go ahead and shield. We're quite ahead in terms of... And we still have Pidgeot in the back. We have Kangaskhan to hard counter right here. And we do see a swap into Alolan Marowak. So you guys can already see the win condition right here for us. That's going to be Kangaskhan. There's a double fire in the back on this team. So Kangaskhan is definitely our win condition. We're just going to go for Body Slams right here. This is where I sometimes wish I had Earthquake. I sometimes wish, because in situations like this, no Alolan Marowak is shielding. They just expect the Body Slam, so I could just land an Earthquake right there, which would have been amazing. But we're going to try to get to another one, but we can't. So we got to let this go. Bone Club won't take us out, I don't believe. No, they Fire Blast us. So we just got Fire Blasted, and now we bring in the Kangaskhan and farm down, as you guys can see. And then the Ninetales in the back is just gonna get eaten alive. We're gonna go ahead and go for Power Up Punch right here. This is gonna increase our damage, do some nice chip damage, and potentially get a shield. So we do get a shield right there, which is great, and Mud Slaps are just gonna start shredding right here, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. All right, moving into this next battle here. We have Pidgeot on the lead versus Beedrill. Super positive matchup. You'll love to see it right here. And we do see them swap out into a Lapras. And it's a Water Gun Lapras as well. So I don't necessarily have to swap out. But I'm going to go ahead and swap into Snorlax there on the charge move. I wanted to have a lot of energy on Pidgeot. I think that's what's very important. What I learned with this team is that Pidgeot with energy can shred apart a lot of teams as long as it's not resisted. So something like Alolan Sandslash, for example, with that steel typing would resist it. Pretty much everything else you're going to hit for massive neutral damage. So we go ahead and go for the Superpower right there to get a shield. And then we're just going to let Snorlax go down, actually. If they happen to have a Alolan Marowak in the back, we have Kangaskhan. I'm just going to bring in Pidgeot and just hard farm. Again, this Pokemon is incredible with energy and hard farming. So yeah, and especially since it's Water Gun, we're not taking too much damage. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace a bit early, just before they get to the Surf. So this should be taking it out, but they decide to shield, which is amazing. I'm going to go ahead and shield myself and then farm down. I can absolutely farm down right here. They are going to be unshielded, and I'm going to have a Pidgeot with a Brave Bird and then some. So we're going to go ahead and farm down. That's beautiful. Whatever comes in, I'm Brave Birding right now and going straight into Kangaskhan. And it is going to be a Blastoise, actually, which is perfect. There's no fighter there in the back, so we're going to go ahead and swap to the Kangaskhan right here after we land the Brave Bird. Swap right into it, start getting ahead on energy, and we will have to shield this Hydro Cannon right here. I don't want to get hit, obviously, with the Hydro Cannon. Then we'll see the Blastoise now go down. Beedrill is still in the back, but we have Crunch ready to go, basically. It's going to do a decent amount of neutral damage right here, but in tandem with Mud Slaps, Crunch, and still having Pidgeot in the back, this is basically going to be a good game right there, and they do decide to surrender, and GG to my opponent. All right. Moving into this next battle. I know what game this is now because of the opponent's character right there. So this is what I was saying. This team has no resistance to Charm. So what we're going to see is Wigglytuff on the lead. So I'm just going to swap into Snorlax right away, hoping they decide to swap out, but they're not. So we're just going to put a lot of pressure right here with Body Slam. I have to build up to Superpower to try to force that because it will do neutral damage and a lot at that. So we go for the Body Slam. They decide not to shield, which is fine. I'm now going to go ahead and go for the Superpower, but they swap into Clefable. There's two Charmers. Just like in my head, I'm like, they're running three. They're running Alolan Ninetales in the back. There's no way. So we are going to go down to Charm. This is what I mean. There's some games you just can't win, but I only ran into this team once, right? So I didn't see it too often, but I saw a lot more flexible teams or variety teams, which this team can handle. So we're going to bring in the Kangaskhan right here and just try to farm down. I'm going to go ahead and go for Power Up Punch just to increase the damage here on Mud Slap and hope that, you know, maybe there is an Alolan Marowak in the back. So I will have to shield. Our attack is boosted right here, and we're just going to try to farm down and see what we can do to the Wigglytuff as well. But this is why having no resistances to Charm is very tough here in the Kanto Cup because Charm just hits so hard. So we will see Wigglytuff come back in. We're going to go ahead and go for another Power-Up Punch right here. This does neutral. Wigglytuff is that normal fairy typing, but they decide not to shield as well, and they do farm me down. I'm like, please, just having a Alolan Marowak in the back without Fire Blast. I would love this. So I'm going to go ahead and shield the Ice Beam right here, banking on and praying for an Alolan Marowak in the back, but it's actually going to be a Ninetales. I'm just going to go ahead and exit. There's no reason to stay in that. That was a Charm Ninetales. So getting into the next battle, we have Pidgeot versus Snorlax. Again, a Shadow Snorlax this time. We're going to play it the same kind of way as one of the earlier battles, maybe game 1 or game 2. But because it's a Shadow, I will have to shield one of these charge moves. I'm not going to shield the first one right here. It is going to be a Body Slam, but I will shield the second just to maintain a lot of health right here. So we're going to go ahead and build up to double Aerial Ace, and I will have to shield this one, right? We saw how much damage that first one did, and if I come out of here with a lot of energy, this is looking pretty good because I can get that shield back on the back end and properly align my Pokemon. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Aerial Ace right here. This should take out the Snorlax if they decide not to shield, which it does. Fantastic. And we will see that it is going to be a Sea King. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Brave Bird right away. You want to go for this to punish them guessing and not shielding, and we do get the shield, so I'm going to swap straight into Snorlax right now, maintain that Pidgeot just in case there is a fighter, but they decide to go for their charge move. I'm going to guess this is Triple Legacy being Drill Run and Icy Wind, so I won't shield, and it is going to be an Icy Wind, and I decide to not throw the Body Slam, but it's going to be another Alolan Marowak in the back. And like I said, Alolan Marowaks, they're either, a lot of people will have them on their teams, right? And it's either on the lead or in the back. So if you bring 3 Pokemon that counter it, which I don't know why I'm doing this to my favorite Pokemon, you're going to have a high probability of winning because there's nowhere that Alolan Marowak can come in and farm down and whatnot. So we're just going to be putting so much pressure here. Body Slams really start to add up. Lick damage really starts to add up. And they're going to have to throw energy in order to take us out. I do decide to swap straight into Pidgeot. to get ahead on energy and hopefully catch a Bone Club right here, which it is going to be a Bone Club, which is fine. And then they decide to throw their energy again, so this is going to be another Bone Club. I'm not going to shield. And then that is basically going to be a good battle. Remember, there's just the Sea King in the back. We have Kangaskhan for that. I do get to the Aerial Ace in time, which is fantastic. And I think they may try to farm me down. I'm pretty close. They should try to farm me down. Yeah, they do farm me down right there. But I have the Kangaskhan ready to go. And I just need a Mud Slap. I am going to go ahead and shield this first one, I believe. No, I let this first one go. It's going to be Icy Wind. I'm concerned about a Mega Horn. That's basically what I'm concerned about. So I will shield the second one, obviously. Sea King does have access to that Mega Horn, so that's what I'm worried about for heavy neutral damage, but it's just double Icy Winds, which is fine, and we take that battle right there, and that is going to be a good game. Oh, there's still a Alolan Marowak, so we're going to go ahead and go for Crunch, and that is going to be a good game right there. So if you guys are tired of seeing Alolan Marowaks, this is a great team to counter that. But again, like you guys saw in that earlier battle, double, triple Charm, this team has struggles with it. So we have Pidgeot versus Venusaur on the lead. Very, 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 very positive for us. And we'll have to see what they swap into. It's going to be into an Golem, an Alolan Golem, which is where Kangaskhan can come in and just shred. You guys are seeing how much damage that Mud Slap is doing. Absolutely shredding. Now, I'm not going to... I think I don't shield right here. Yeah, I don't shield. It's just going to be a Rock Blast, which is beautiful, and they decide to throw another charge in. So this is double Rock Blast, and we can survive based on how much damage we saw that first one do. So I'm not going to shield the second one. So we can safely win that matchup. Now, we will probably see the Venusaur come back in, and we can just go for Crunch right here. We want to do as much neutral damage as we can. The Power-Up Punch wouldn't really get us anything. We do land the Crunch, which is great. That did quite a bit of damage. We can get Venusaur roughly to 50% health here. Pidgeot's going to go ahead and come in. Now, I'm not going to shield right here. I'm guessing whatever's in the back, Snorlax can do pretty well against, but we'll have to see. They do decide to swap out now. Nope. Oh, yeah, they did. They swapped out into a Machamp. So they have a Shadow, or a normal Machamp, I believe. Here, it might be Shadow. Hold on, we'll see. No, it's just a normal Machamp, which is fine. I'm going to go ahead and try to get to this next Aerial Ace, which I do, and now I have to bring in the Snorlax. Pidgeot is normal flying typing, which means it takes quite a bit of damage here from counter, so I'm going to go ahead and swap into Snorlax and look to farm down. Remember, we have 2 shields right here. Lick damage really starts to add up. I could have potentially gone into the Snorlax here before throwing the second Aerial Ace. That might have been a bit better. Save that on the Pidgeot, but we're going to go ahead and shield these double cross chops right here and then get a Body Slam off against the Venusaur in the back, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. Great recovery there. That was very, very close battle considering they had Venusaur and Machamp versus Pidgeot, but Kangaskhan handling that Alolan Golem on the safe swap. Alright, moving into this next battle, we have Pidgeot versus Alolan Marowak on the lead. Alright, so another Alolan Marowak team. It has really nowhere to go, so they are going to swap into a Hypno, which is fine. So that's going to be 2, that's going to be 3, that's going to be 4 Confusions. I'm going to swap to Snorlax right here to catch the Thunder Punch. So we, again, with this Pidgeot, we're trying our best to maintain a lot of energy to put huge pressure on them, and considering they have Alolan Marowak, we have both counters with Kangaskhan and Pidgeot. So I'm hoping to get shield advantage right here, but we'll have to see. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Body Slam, hoping they shield, but they don't. So now I actually think I need to shield. The Thunder Punch damage plus Confusions I think would take us out, and I need to maintain switch advantage just in case there's a fighter in the back, right? Because Kangaskhan can come back in to the Alolan Marowak, just in case they have a fighter, or if they bring in a fighter right here, I can bring in the Pidgeot, right? But we do see the Alolan Marowak come back in. So again, this is where I wish I had Earthquake to try to get those sneaky Earthquakes off, but we can just throw Body Slams right here. This is going to be perfectly fine, but what we're really hoping for is a lick damage to really start adding up. So we're going to go ahead and bring the Pidgeot back in. We have quite a bit of energy, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Aerial Ace right away. This is going to do a lot of neutral damage to them. Hopefully get a shield, but they decide not to shield. That's really risky, and there was a fighter in the back. But this is okay. As you guys can see, Pidgeot's Gust right here just does so much damage. So we are going to go ahead and shield the charge move and then just farm down. And then we will see the Alolan Marowak basically go down to Kangaskhan right here. So we're going to go ahead and throw the Aerial Ace. Actually, I didn't need to throw. I could have just swapped to Kangaskhan right away. So we do get a shield, swap to Kangaskhan, and then just farm down. They're going to have to throw Fire Blast if they have it, which I don't even... Actually, they probably would KO. But they only have Bone Club, which is fine, and Kangaskhan can close out this game for us, and that is going to be a good battle, very well played. Alright, moving into this next battle, we have Pidgeot versus Alolan Marowak again. Yeah, you guys are seeing it everywhere. If it's not on the lead, it might be in the back, and we do see a Wigglytuff. Okay, so this is where the Charmers are very, very tough. Considering I have multiple counters to Alolan Marowak in the back, I'm going to go ahead and use the Pidgeot to try to get a shield right here, a one-shot Wigglytuff, and we do get a shield, so I'm going to go ahead and swap now into the Snorlax. Hopefully I can get to the Body Slam in time, but I can't, so I have to shield this Ice Beam coming in, or potential Play Rough. It's probably just Ice Beam. No, it's actually going to be the Play Rough right here. And then we're going to go for the Body Slam. This is going to do quite a bit of neutral damage like we saw before against that triple the triple Charmer team earlier in the video. And we do get a second shield. I'm like, okay, things are actually looking pretty good. Hopefully we can get to another Body Slam in time. This is going to be taking out the Wigglytuff. And we'll probably see the Alolan Marowak come back in and farm. But having a shield advantage with Pidgeot and Kangaskhan is very, very nice for us. So we will see... What are we going to see come in? The Alolan Marowak does come in. Pretty smart. Going to be able to farm a lot of energy, but we did quite a bit of chip damage right there. So we're going to go ahead and bring in the Kangaskhan now. Kangaskhan with Mud Slaps absolutely shreds. We don't need a shield. That was way too quick to be a Fire Blast, so this is probably just a Bone Club, which it is. And then we will see them decide to stay in. No, they decide to swap out into a Clefable. So they're running double Charm right here. So even though... we have triple counter to Alolan Marowak, we have no answer to a Clefable. So I'm hoping just to keep going for power-up punches right here to increase the damage of Mud Slap, but I'm realizing I'm not going to be able to do too much damage, and I'd have to go into Pidgeot, and I'm not going to be able to take it out. So Charm taking us down, and this is why I said if you guys run into a double Charm or a triple Charm team, this team doesn't do so hot against it. But I only saw the triple Charm once and the double Charm once right here. So that's going to be a good battle to my opponent. Charm on the back end just took us out, and there's really nothing we could do right there. We played it to our best in that situation. So moving into this next battle, we have Pidgeot on the lead versus Shadow Victory Bell. Oh, you love to see it. This is what we live for right here. And they're deciding to stay in. Fine by me. I'll just farm all day long. I'm Farmer Pidgeot right here. We're going to go ahead and shield Leaf Blade, Leaf Blade would still do quite a bit of damage even though it is resisted. And Pidgeot with half health and this much energy is extremely, extremely deadly. So we are going to see a Lapras come in right here. So we're going to go ahead and go for the Brave Bird, and then we're going to swap out. Again, if they have a fighter in the back, we want to maintain Pidgeot right here, get even shields, and swap into that Snorlax, hoping they decide to swap out into that fighter, and we can go for Body Slams to put a lot of pressure. But they're staying in, and they've built up to 8 Ice Shards right here. So I'm going to go ahead and shield, and it was a Skull Bash. So thankfully I shielded that. We're going to go ahead and go for the Body Slam right here. This isn't going to KO, and I don't imagine we'll get a shield either because they just landed Skull Bash, or they just used Skull Bash, which increases their defenses. So we're going to go ahead and build up some energy, counting the fast moves right here. We're going to go ahead and throw the Body Slam just before they're going to be getting to Surf. This should be taking out the Lapras or getting the final shield. It gets the final shield. Hey ho, that's awesome. And we do get to another Body Slam just before they get to the Surf. Now, they could be running Ice Beam because I think they were already at 4, and that was the 5th Ice Shard. So they might have been trying to go for Ice Beam. But we do see a Alolan Marowak as the final Pokemon, and I feel so bad doing this to the GOAT, right? I have 3 counters, and this Alolan Marowak doesn't know it. There's still a Pidgeot it has to deal with, but we have Kangaskhan as well. I am going to get this Body Slam. There's really no reason to throw it because we just have such hard counters in the back. It feels bad. So we're going to go ahead and go into the Kangaskhan to clean this game up right here, and that will be a good game to my opponent. So yeah, Alolan Marowak's in the back. This team can cover that, as long as there's not double Charm, right? So we have Pidgeot on the lead versus Hypno, a Shadow Hypno at that. So we're going to go ahead and swap straight into Snorlax. I could have swapped later, but we do see another Charmer come in. I'm like, oh man, if this is another Hypno double Charm team, this is going to be really annoying, but we'll have to see what we can do. We're going to go for Body Slam first, just like last time. That way we can get to another charge move. It lands, which is fantastic, and now we're going to go for that superpower to give ourselves switch advantage or get the final shield, or the first shield. we do get the shield, which is great. So shield advantage is very, very solid. So this is where we're going to come in with that Pidgeot and farm down. Now, we have to watch out for Ice Beam from the Wigglytuff, but Pidgeot coming in right here, I'm okay with sacrificing half of my health, basically 50% from Charm, to get a Brave Bird and then some, to put so much pressure on that Hypno or on whatever decides to come in. So we're going to go ahead and just hard farm. We get to about 50% health right there, which is fine. We have so much energy, and we are going to see the Hypno now come back in, so we're going to go for that Brave Bird right here. Get that final shield or punish if they decide not to. So if it lands, which it does, boom! We're going to go ahead and swap into Kangaskhan. The final Pokemon is going to be a Shadow Victory Bell. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go for Power Up Punch right here. I should have built up to Crunch, but considering Kangaskhan is such a unique pick, they probably don't know the counts. So we do get a shield, which is fine. Mud Slap is doing its thing. And then we are going to be able to bring in the Pidgeot right here. Hopefully try to farm down, but they get off the charge move, so I will shield right here because I think I can actually win because the Hypno doesn't have too much energy. So it's going to be a race right here, Confusion versus Gust, and we do get it with a little bit of health left, and that is going to be a good battle. Very well played to my opponent. And I believe that was the final one. Yeah, it was the final one. Went 8-2 with this team overall. Really, really solid team. Had a lot of fun. Again, Pidgeot with Gust, which is a legacy move from the Flying Cup, that 6-hour cup. You guys remember? Go Battle Night, which was a lot of fun. It's only available from that event, so you guys will have to Elite Fast TM in order to get it if you want to, or wait for another event. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this triple normal team, what you guys think about Kangaskhan. I think it's very, very strong in the back with coverages to a Alolan Marowak and the electrics that we do see in the meta, like Electrode Safe Swap or Alolan Graveler or Alolan Golem. It's just very, very strong, and Snorlax on that Safe Swap draws out that one and only fighter they probably have, and we can put a lot of pressure with Body Slam. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.